Do you think this is Doc Rivers' last season as an NBA head coach? Do you want Detroit stocks or do you want Celtic stocks to win the finals?
My heart says Detroit, my head says Celtics. From deep. Oh, let me have that again, please.
Nothing but nothing.
Ah!
He's gone for the bank shot and he's missed. And welcome to Hoopatheticals. That was Thom, our co-host here, and Hot Take Machine, giving us some fire takes already. And by fire takes, I mean missed shots. Thom, how you going this week, mate?
I swear when I was down at the court yesterday that those threes were getting cashed. But unfortunately, the plastic basketballs can't attest to that. So no, I'm good, mate. It's been a massive week in the NBA. I'm just keen to get stuck in. We've got a lot to cover.
Now, people will say that I've got a Bucks jersey on. You've got some Bucks jerseys in the background. We are going to be definitely talking about Giannis because it feels like there's been some developments here. Before we get into that, today we're going to start with a segment we actually haven't done in a little while. We're going to be looking at some stocks in the NBA and deciding if we're buying or if we're selling in our segment, Bank Shot. All right, welcome to Bank Shot. Thom, is it a bull market or is it a bear market? And what are you buying right now? What's on the cryptos? What sort of stocks are you buying and selling at the moment, mate?
Mate, I've got a team that we've often clowned on the Hoopatheticals podcast, but I can't help but be buying up on them stocks. And that's on the Raptors. I don't know if you've seen, but they're currently third in the East. A little bit of a win streak going on. I got a little obscure Milwaukee Buck. Obviously, we cannot sleep on the Mamu Kalashvili, who has been tearing it up as of late. But yeah, weirdly, the Raptors have actually been looking kind of good. I feel like they've been low-key consistent all year. They've been like that 5, that 6 in the East, but now they've jumped up to third. I don't know how sustainable it is, but I'm buying some dino stocks, mate.
Yeah, mate. The Raptor stocks. Well, here's the thing with them. They're doing one of these things that it feels like they should have dropped off a while ago. Like, you know how the Chicago Bulls usually start a season really strong and then they'll just end up with a 43 win record. You know, that's kind of usually their play. It kind of felt like to me the Raptors were kind of doing that, but they're doing that in almost reverse. Like, they're getting stronger as the season's ending somehow. And what's fascinating is, like, when you look at the East, it's a bit of a strange list, but they're definitely the standouts of the team you would have never expected to be in the third seed at the beginning of the season. And so it's just bizarre. We've mentioned this on previous pods.
I was going to say, what's not fascinating is that we absolutely called this over a month ago because they have all these like huge athletic wings that can shoot threes. So,
and it's like one of these things that are interesting because they're kind of like, you know how OKC is the perfect team to be the GM of right now. They got picks out the wazoo. They've got players that are young. They've got an amazing team. It's the ideal situation. I feel like the Raptors are kind of in that situation where, like, any team would want to buy any of their players almost at this point. Like, they've done such a good job. If they were like, you know what, we're not too sure about this team, they could sell all these players and really restart, or they can just try and keep this going and be a Brandon Ingram led team.
They've got like 5 second options, which is not even a bad idea.
So you're buying stocks on the Raptors?
I am.
Well, okay, you know what? I'm going to buy stocks as well because I think it feels like this is a team that's going to play hard to the end of the season. So if that can get them into like the second seed or something, they could be kind of fascinating to play in the playoffs. All right, I've got one for you here, and this is actually a bit of a which would you rather buy stocks in, okay, Thom? Right. I'm presenting you a stock option at this point, and you can pick one of the following two. Do you want Detroit stocks or do you want Celtic stocks to win the finals? Who is more likely in your mind as the sort of front runner here in the East?
My heart says Detroit. My head says Celtics.
Tell me about it.
I think everyone likes the gritty working class sort of play style of the Pistons. You know, they haven't really been, I mean, they were the laughing stock 2 seasons ago with the longest losing streak, like in professional sports history. They've turned it around in literally a matter of like season and a half. They feel a little bit fake first seed. I don't know if they'll be able to keep it up once we get to playoff territory. But my heart really wants them to have a good crack at it. As for the Celtics, yeah, look, I mean, they've been good for so long. Jaylen Brown's having a crazy. We talked about this last episode. He's actually having a crazy season. It would be foolish to say that they're not genuine options, but I'm buying up Piston stocks. I got to invest. I love an underdog.
Can I ask how close to first seed overall Cleveland Cavaliers last year is Detroit to you this year?
They're not quite there.
Okay.
They're not quite there because the difference is that the Cavs had an insane season. I don't know if you remember, they started off the season in a similar sort of way to OKC where it was like, when are they going to lose? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then they only lost like 1 or 2 in the first, like, I think 30 odd games. So I'm not really getting that energy from the Pistons. They've been humbled enough, I think, by some good teams. But yeah, they really put up a fight last playoffs. I can see them doing it again.
I have to say, if I'm buying stocks out of the Detroit or the Celtics, I am extremely begrudgingly buying Celtic stocks.
Oh, dear.
And there's a reason for that. This could be one of my least favorite seasons to watch as a Bucks fan who is a Celtics hater. It's been truly a disaster, actually.
It has. A disaster class, yeah.
A disaster class. The Celtics started off bad and it was kind of fun. And then now they're really good. And it's devastating because Jaylen Brown, someone who has been like, you know how you can like buy stocks in people? I've always sold my Jaylen Brown stocks. I was selling them away for half price. I was like, you can have these, dude. I don't even want them.
Out of the left hand and the right hand.
Exactly. Now he's shown up and he's a legitimate star. And it's extremely frustrating, man. I used to love the battles between him and Giannis, where Giannis would ultimately always have had the better game. Now it's like there's a real chance if they were to play again towards the end of the season, should that happen.
Please no.
He could honestly be a better player than Giannis on the court now, which is just, honestly, I never thought I'd say that. And that's where we are. So unfortunately, with Tatum probably coming back, and those two, it seems like Tatum and Jaylen Brown actually do like each other. I feel like they could be really strong.
I don't know if you've seen this as well, but like Jaylen Brown has somehow manufactured a sort of underdog's like MVP narrative where he thinks that he's getting looked over and passed over in the MVP conversations. And I don't know, it seems to be like chip on his shoulder fueling him. And yeah, I got him on my fantasy team, so my loyalty's a little bit divided here, but you know, I feel the same way as you. Disaster class as a Bucks supporter.
But I mean, also, can I ask Jaylen Brown if he's feeling a bit overlooked in the MVP race? Like, let's not forget you're playing with, like, you're never going to beat Jokic. You're not going to beat SGA. So do you just want us to talk about you coming in third in the MVP race more? Like, is that what he wants?
Yeah. In which case, have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're welcome to have that. Yeah.
Right, what else are you looking at the stock market for, Tommy?
Mate, I had to give you. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but there's a team that's gone 15-3 in their last 18.
Oh.
I think they're 7-3.
Oh no!
I know. Yeah. It's the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Are you buying stocks? Because I don't know. Brook Lopez broke a record for threes the other day. Let's not forget that man is Splash Cash Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Are we buying Clippers stocks? I think we might have to.
Dude, I don't know if I can buy Clippers stocks for just a couple of reasons.
Have you self-excluded from buying Clippers stocks?
I think I can't buy Clippers stocks because I can't believe a team that has Jaylen Brown and Bradley Beal is going to win the finals. That's two people who are like almost the omens on their own team that are the things that like bring down their team in playoff settings. There's two of them on the same team. You know, I know that Bradley Beal's out for the season, but even still, he's still rostered on the team. So
Incredible.
For me, this is an ultimate bad playoffs karma team, and I just don't love it. So yeah, that's my thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Kawhi's playing good. You know, Brooks playing good. They've got a couple of rookies that have been okay. I hate the Clips, and I love to hate them, but they're actually playing all right. And I don't know. It's, you know, that whole narrative with like if their pick is owned by OKC, so it's not the worst thing in the world if they're like a play-in team by a whisker.
Well,
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, with that, though, I think another thing that you're also forgetting here, Tom, in buying Clippers stocks is that it's the Clippers that you're buying stocks in. A team that famously has been hit with scandal after misfortune after scandal, perhaps one of the least fortunate franchises of all time. So just keep that in mind also as you make decisions here.
I didn't say I was heavily investing. I just said that maybe I'd pick up these aren't blue chip stocks. These are just a couple of I'm feeling like throwing some money away.
Okay. All right. I don't mind it. I've just got one more for you here, Tom. I'm actually fascinated. If you were another team, okay, so you're the 1 seed, so you're OKC, which of the following teams would you least want to see as the 8th seed? Okay? Golden State, Portland, or the Clippers?
Probably Golden State.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, you've got Steph, who can just go crazy, and Steve Kerr, I feel like, isn't actually a good coach. The other teams, I can't make comments either way on their coaching. Wink, wink. But I feel like you'd hate to see the Warriors. Portland might be a bit of a dark horse there, but I'd probably say the Warriors just because of Steph, and even though Jimmy Butler's not a factor anymore, I feel like that gives opportunity for other dudes, which Steve Kerr just does so good a job of unlocking.
Okay. See, for me, I actually feel like I'm leaning towards Portland there as the sneaky team because to me, they're just kind of like a standard team, you know? And I think that they're also not badly balanced. They got Drew Holiday, they got Damian Lillard potentially coming back, the Milwaukee revenge front court and back court. And yeah, it would just be interesting. I feel like they could be a team that's just annoying to play. Like I think I could see a situation where they steal a game from OKC. Just right place, right time. Some of OKC's threes aren't falling, and all of a sudden, Drew Holiday's snatching the ball. It's a tight game, and we're on.
RB is definitely looking for a playoff breakout game, and he's kind of like a Timu Jokic, so I could see that happening.
Yeah. Do you have any other stocks you're buying?
That's actually a good segue. I'll talk about this more later, but Denver is currently 7-3 without Murray, without Jokic, and they have been without them for a while. I won't say anything more other than this is everything I thought the Bucks were going to be this year. But they're having a crazy season. People shouldn't be surprised anymore. They fired their head coach, and seemingly it's had no issue on the culture of the team. Obviously, they're is it Adelman? Is that his name? He was he was just under, they've brought someone in who's maintained the culture. But Denver look fantastic, and the West should really be scared. Like, they'll be a genuine threat, I think.
Yeah, look, actually Denver has one of those things where it's got I think Aaron Gordon is one of the most underrated players in the NBA.
Oh, We're getting there. Yeah.
To me, because he's so clutch. He's actually one of the most clutch 3-point shooters in the NBA, low key.
Nominate him for the award, mate.
That's it. He's also great defender, great team player. You stick him, there's no team that wouldn't want Aaron Gordon. You know what I mean? He can play for any team. And he just happens to play for a team that has someone who loves to assist. But he is as a third option, it's actually incredible. He's this is what the dream was supposed to be with Giannis, Dame, and Chris, where this is supposed to be Chris Middleton. This is what Chris Middleton's supposed to look like here.
Has there been another player since the playoffs, the end of the playoffs last year? Has there been another player that has come out and asserted himself and filled in the gap like Aaron Gordon has? He's hit threes, he's facilitated, he's played defense, perimeter defense as well. No one thought that he had this. And he has just expectation after expectation has been met and exceeded. I think Aaron Gordon is well and truly one of the most unrecognized players in the league, because everyone thinks, oh, he's a good dunker. He was in the slam dunk contest, rah. But he's been different this year, and he absolutely torched us the other day, which sucked.
And I think also just to sort of round this segment out here, I think, Tommy, I think that with Aaron Gordon, I think he is what MPJ was supposed to be. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When people look at MPJ on the Nets now and they're man, this guy's a great shooter, whatever. This is actually what they wanted. Is Aaron Gordon.
Rebound, defend, take the right shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tom, look, we've given some takes here. We've bought some stocks. We've sold some stocks here. But now it's time to get our emotions sort of pumping because we're about to head into, for people that love the show First Take, you're about to enjoy our version, Worst Fake.
There's a guy shooting. I thought I'd have a crack.
Yeah. Look, we encourage people to go check the video out on YouTube. You will have seen, you can actually watch Tom's shooting form here, and you can send some critiques in the comments, ideally.
Please.
Tom, we are currently doing the segment Worst Fake, which is our version of First Take. Now, we want to bring the energy, we want to bring the enthusiasm and the angry level that they bring to a take about the NBA. But the only difference is between this and First Take is that we don't know what we're going to be arguing for, and we don't know what side we're going to be doing. Tom, do you want to be in the hot seat first, or do you want to put me in it?
I'm good either way, man. I'm ready to go. Actually,
all right. I'm gonna dish yours up today.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm open.
Well, Tom, actually, you teased this one a little bit, so I'm actually happy that you've gotten this one here because I feel like there's something in your heart that's already aligned with this.
All
but
right.
I want you to bring the passion and really convince our audience that the Clips have crept. The LA Clippers have crept into the 10th seed and are 8-2 in their last 10. Is Clip City about to become Chip City?
This is the first year that the Clippers actually don't have defined big expectations on the team. And I actually think that that's been what has allowed them to breathe and to play. They had a bit of a rocky start at the start of the season. But if you think back to it, I reckon over the last, 6 to 8 seasons at least, everyone has said Clippers to the Western Conference Finals. Like, everyone has said that. This is the first season when people are like, oh, we're really not sure, like, how many games is Kawhi going to play? James Harden's getting older, rah. I reckon, you want to talk about teams that no one wants to see in the first round or even in the play-in? It's Clips. And I reckon, Brook Lopez, he still gets a block. He can still cash a three. Like, sure, he's not great on the perimeter. He doesn't need to be, though. They've got a couple of rookies, like I said. I think they could be a real pest in the West. And maybe they could be the best.
I'm stressed. Wow, good work, Tom. How are you actually feeling about the Clippers? Are you feeling like they could be a legit threat, or where do you actually stand with them?
Do you know what they kind of remind me of? Like, Doc, we'll get to this. Doc does his best coaching when he has no expectations. The post-Lob City Clippers under Doc actually had a couple of nice wins, couple of good playoff wins. Obviously, they didn't perform like they should have. And it's the same with Doc, like a couple of seasons ago in the playoffs against the Pacers. Like, we had everyone out and then we like scrapped together a win with like Ajax as our starting like power forward. Like, when he's not dealing with superstars, Doc can like squeeze out a win. And the Clippers remind me of this, where it's like when people aren't talking about how they're going to be genuine, Western Conference or even finals contenders, they actually play all right. So I like maybe 35% believe it.
Okay.
I'll put it that way.
That's pretty good. Because for me, the Clippers remind me of where the Bucks were like last year. It's like if things shake out right, yeah, but there's a lot of things that could go wrong and they're just going to be gone.
Mate, we're going to go straight over to the East now, and we're going to stay firmly in play-in territory, which, is a real wheelhouse for us here at Hoopatheticals, the only comedy NBA podcast in existence. And I want you to explain to me how they're not the dark horse, they're the dark hawks of the East.
Oh.
Could Atlanta snag a playoff position, and should we be worried?
Mm-hmm. Well, Tom, I have to say I am quite hawkish on this team because what they have is they have the secret sauce. They have gotten rid of the one player that used to get targeted on defense every single playoff round. That's gone.
Yep.
And they have replaced that with now a team that is competent, that's full of big wings. And we talked about a team like that not too long ago, the Raptors. I think the Hawks have once again, like the Raptors, accidentally become a good team. And this is the thing, where they're going to be strongest is in the playoffs, where it just, becomes slower And when you can organize your defense and you've got a team that's built for defense, this is what we're looking for. This may not be their year, but their identity for the next couple of years has now been defined around Dyson Daniels, around some of their better players. And, mate, the defense of the Hawks and the wings of the Hawks, as you could say, are going to be closing in on the rest of the league.
Nothing screams defense like CJ McCollum, which is what most GMs around the league would be saying right about now. But how much do you actually believe that, mate?
For me, CJ McCollum's a stopgap. So he's like here for this year, see you later next year. Or like something like that. To me, they are a team that like, they've got two parts here. They're really in the driver's seat in terms of where they can be as a franchise. If they want to go tank and start selling everybody, they can get some really good assets back. And if they want to go, let's try and win, they only really need to get a star because they've got a team set up for a star, basically. Like if they can, whatever the McCollum thing is, like if you could switch that into someone else who's a little bit better, say an Aaron Gordon, but like someone who's just got a bit more like even a Desmond Bain, like how he is on the Magic, that type of player with that type of team, I think that they could be like a legit team next year out of nowhere and just like annoying to play with. Like in the grind of the regular season, it's just like one of those teams that you roll your eyes at. Like when the Bucks were really good under Bud, I'm actually going to have to try really hard tonight to just not get hammered on the defensive end.
I mean, the last time the Hawks were good, they were also coached by Bud. That's all I'll say.
Let's just leave it there. All right. Well, Tom, speaking of Bud, it's time.
Yeah,
it's time. It's time. Our audience will be interested. There's been a lot of chatter about this team. There's been a lot of chatter about players on this team. Let's get into it, mate. Oh, we've got the retro logo.
Oh. Keep the audience on their toes.
That's it. Oh, here we go.
I haven't seen this in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, this may feel like a calming sort of feeling about Bucks Chat, our segment that we've just entered, but
we're not calm.
It's not calm, and I think Tom, it's our sort of penance to play this every time. So we're going to throw back to October.
Yeah,
and I think it's important that this is how we felt in October, everybody, about this Milwaukee Bucks season.
Is this Doc's best coached season so far?
Probably the Celtics have to be in that category, but I mean this is the best I've seen since that.
It just gets better and better. Doesn't it?
Like a fine milk ages beautifully. Tom, look, you know what? I'm actually going to start there and we can kind of go from here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Giannis of it all, this is something that has been blasting in my mind for the last couple of days.
Go.
Do you think this is Doc Rivers' last season as an NBA head coach?
I think it's his last job. I don't think it's his last season. I don't know that the Bucks have the stones to fire him. I really don't. I have this really bad feeling that the only people who think that Doc is a bad coach are fans and dudes on like the Bucks Reddit. Like, I have a really sinking feeling in my heart that everyone in the organization, Horse, like the rest of it, all think like Doc's doing the best he can with what he's got. And I think that they'll want to keep also like the circumstances with which the Doc came on, firing Adrian Griffin, we were 30-13. There was a lack of continuity. There was a lack of sort of stability in the team. Obviously, Bud had only just been fired as well. They're not going to want to redo that again. He's only been here. Is this his 3rd season with the Bucks? Like, it's not, in head coaching terms, that's not super long. It's not super short, but I have a really bad feeling that like we're the only ones who think that he's bad. Is that right? Or am I like...
I don't know.
Out of touch?
Like, I don't know. The thing is, I think you're circling around something that I do agree with, which is that I do think that if you know the dude, he's probably an awesome hang. And he's probably like, for people that are like in the organization, I'm sure he's a nice guy and like does some good leadership stuff around the team. But man, some of this stuff, we've mentioned elbow last week, where a play that uses an elbow action is called elbow. You can just see that he's fully lost the locker room, in my opinion.
I've never seen a team with less effort. Like, these are millionaires getting paid to play basketball. I go out and get sunburnt on Saturday mornings for free. And like they just don't give a crap. And
yeah, it's like we're a tanking team. That's how it feels.
That's the conversations have now turned to tanking, which is, you've turned a corner when people start talking about prospects in the upcoming draft. And it's the stuff we've been talking about from the start, mate. Like, there's no plays drawn up for anyone. People seemingly getting benched for no reason. People seemingly getting minute. There's no continuity with the lineups. I've not seen any sort of distinct actions run. I'm seeing things like we've said it before, like Gary Harris. I don't know if you saw this the other day. Starts. He's in the starting lineup. He played 9 minutes the whole game. He started. He played a few minutes. Doc subbed him out. I saw him a little bit later on, and then that was it. He's not even playing deep into his bench. I also don't know if you've realized this. He's playing like 3 dudes off the bench. He's playing like Kuz, Bobby, and like sometimes Cole Anthony, sometimes a little bit of Ajax, sometimes a little bit of Jericho Sims, and sometimes Gary Harris. But like, we have just throw a different guy in. Like we have no excuse to be playing 3 people off the bench, especially when those people off the bench are scarcely two-way play. We've got what's his mate? Pete Nance, man. He's actually been playing good. He's actually been playing with a little bit of effort, cashed a couple of threes. I respected. He's our two-way player.
The other thing as well, man, like, why are we tightening rotations when what is happening this season is we still don't know what the identity of the team is? Like, and with the tightened rotations, it's not like, oh, okay, we're aiming for defense here, or
right.
It's not
we're
obvious.
Going small. We're going big.
Yeah. We're not making decisions. We're just kind of like, And here's the thing, you and I, like, here's why I think Doc is actually a bad coach, and this is like sort of definable by this, is like, we've had other seasons where we've had like a worse team than this in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like years before we were in championship contention, and we were a better team than this. Like we were worst case 8th seed, kind of in that sort of like annoying team you don't want to play, probably going to be a little scrappy. This is like a disaster. Like, if you told me we were going to be the 11th seed at the start of the season, I'd be like, what are you talking about, dude? No way. And yet here we are.
We're playing with the entitlement. Like we were doing this last. We've actually done this kind of since Doc came over, which is we play with a certain entitlement that we deserve to be a 4th or 5th seed, and that teams should almost respect us for that. But we get blown out in games we shouldn't get blown out in. We lose at home. No one's taking responsibility. Let's talk about Giannis. Like,
let's do it. Let's dive into it, because I think it's time. Giannis. This has been the big conversation this week.
It's really confusing, man. I don't understand. Like, I actually think that I've thought he wanted to stay in Milwaukee for so long, but as each week goes by, I think he's clearly not happy. I think he's also really frustrated. I think he's genuinely getting injured and genuinely trying to come back and play hard. I do think that last game, especially like the other day, I think he was devastated that he couldn't play those last like 30 seconds or whatever. But some of his comments have just been so weird. And it's just left everyone, here's the thing, if all the fans are in a fog of what's happening, how much more so in the locker room? And I think you've got something.
No, I was just going to say, like, let's start there, because we've been hearing a lot, and I think I just want to tee everybody up. If we listen to this episode back in the sort of future or whatever. So at the moment, here's what's been happening. This whole season, there's been a little chatter about Giannis being kind of traded, but then when he comes back, we play well, and that kind of dies down. Then our team starts playing badly again, and the chatter starts coming up again. He's been injured twice this season. They're both kind of similar injuries. Or is it twice, or is this?
Yeah, left calf. It's the same injury.
Same injury, non-contact injury. He just goes down 4 to 6 weeks. They're telling us is how long.
He told us.
He told us before.
He told us. Out of the locker room.
Yeah. Yep. And what has then happened just before, and this happened also just before his previous injury, is it was at the peak of trade talk. So if you remember, just before the last injury, it was probably the loudest the trade talks got injured. Trade talks obviously die down while he's injured. Comes back now. It started to hit what you were just talking about. So we had a post-game presser 2 games ago where Giannis just started calling people out, not by name, but just started calling people out. He was like, we've got young people that are making mistakes. They're not doing what we're practicing. We're not making the right plays. They're just trying to be the hero. And I thought that was quite an interesting thing because you don't see this from Giannis. Giannis is usually pretty much keeps the cards close to the vest a lot of the time. Always just wants to be aggressive. That's what he says every time,
Phenomenal accent.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. It's because I've heard it maybe 1,000 times, and I appreciate that. That's what he wants. But I think I want to get your thoughts on it because my mind has gone like 5 different directions with this, and I think like I understand it from everyone's perspective, but it still feels like a bit of a rat's nest of a situation.
Yeah, I think it just takes away some of the confidence of the younger players. I also thought that the fact that he said people are just taking shots and playing hero ball, my first thought went to Ryan Rollins, and I thought of the 2 threes that he cashed at the end of the fourth quarter to make it a game. And I was like, you're not wrong, Giannis, but you're kind of not right. Like, Ryan Rollins has been most improved player candidate all year. Doc has given him no favors, no plays for him. He's expecting him and KPJ for that matter as well. He's basically given them the ball and said, play like prime James Harden. Like, create your own shot. I'll send a pick and roll every now and then, but I'll just expect you to cash everything. AJ Green, it appears, has been strictly told to only shoot threes, but with no plays to enable him to shoot threes, except every now and then he'll have to sprint around Giannis and Giannis will give him a handoff once or twice a game. Other than that, he just stays in the corner waiting for a shot. So I don't know who are the people who are playing hero ball here. KPJ, he just gets tossed the ball 5 times a quarter and says, do something, So I think it's a little unfair, especially all these guys are playing for a contract as well. So can you blame them to try and make something of it? Cole Anthony, again, was our starting point guard. In lieu of KPJ injured at the start of the season. He's now been DMP'd for most of the season since KPJ came back. He's had a few minutes in recent games. He's looked okay, but he's also on a contract year. What do you expect? He's one of 4 dudes on the roster who can create his own shot. So in my head, I'm thinking, what do you expect them to do, Giannis?
Yeah, so when I first heard this, I was like, this is weird because usually Giannis is really level-headed, and usually he tries to...
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was wondering, okay, what percentage of you, part of me was like, okay, I think this is him trying a different tact of leadership. He's like, let me try and use the media to be like, I'm calling these people out in the media so they have to show up a bit more. I'm taking this more seriously. Clearly what I'm saying in the locker room is not translating, right? So that was one element of it I was thinking. Another thing I was thinking was, I don't know if you heard this, but I remember when I was listening to a story about Kobe, he got told that he had to be easier on the other players because they were never going to take the game as seriously as he was. He had to be of course he could take every shot because he's the guy that practices the most, but at the end of the day, that's easy to draw up a defense against. So he had to just accept the fact that other people are just not going to be at the same level, And I think Giannis has been able to avoid that because he's had support. He's had Chris Middleton to help coach people.
True.
When they were, where Chris has clearly been a voice in the locker room. Now that I think is kind of put on him and Bobby, and I don't know how good Bobby is for that type of thing all the time. I'm sure Bobby can connect with some of the younger players in certain ways and different things like that, but I don't know if he has that Chris Middleton type role. Drew Holiday, also another player. Brooke, another player that could kind of do this stuff that's just not really there now. And so
there's even older players as well, though. I'm thinking of the George Hills back in the day. Do you know what I mean? I'm even thinking a Javon Carter who wasn't even there for that long, but I feel like these are culture dudes who it diffuse if you put it all, at the moment, it's all on Bobby and Giannis. But back then it was sort of diffused. You had guys at different levels at stages of their career offering different perspectives, and they'd been around for differing amounts of time. George Hill was at the Bucks for years. And I think people listened to him. Do you know what I mean? He was a vet. he was a vet when he played in Cleveland, like with LeBron.
Yeah.
And then he did like 5 seasons with the Bucks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ersan Ilyasovas, all the people we mention constantly on the show. These are the people that
forget.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think Giannis. These were some thoughts that were going through my mind as I was hearing, and I'm like, I think there could be another tact. But now Giannis has been injured, and I wanted to just do a little. I like to share some stuff that I find around the leagues. All right, so Tom, I wanted to show you something that I found online here, and I think this is going to take us nicely into a redacted segment here. All right, so welcome to Redacted. This is the NBA conspiracy theories. I think this is our least conspiracy theory redacted we'll ever do, but I do want to share something with you here, Tom. So let me just share this one with you. All right, so it's a headline from ESPN. It says, Bucks don't offer timetable for Giannis Antetokounmpo return. So
Giannis offered a timetable.
Yeah, redacted for here is this. The current date is the 27th of January, okay? Giannis is predicted to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, okay? That's going to put us squarely in the middle of March. Now, if this team is not playing well, what is the point of bringing him back at all? Like, is there a reason to bring him back? Not at all. Like, if we're going to be serious about tanking and go, like, we have the worst pick out of New Orleans and us, but if we both have bad picks, then whatever. Or good picks, like, so... Is this really...
It's also a case of keeping his value up. Like, if he comes back prematurely and gets injured, does an Achilles, then forget about it.
Yeah. So is there, like, to me, I know that they're saying they don't know when he's coming back. I'm saying he's not coming back this season. I think it's over.
I'd agree.
Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. Let's just move on to something else I wanted to share quickly. All right. This is something else that we have seen. Not great in terms of the Giannis trade situation, which is from NBA Reddit. This is the headline. Giannis was close to firing his longtime agent, Alex Saradas, over his failure to get Giannis traded from the Bucks. Multiple sources agree. Rich Paul, it seems clear, would like to represent Giannis. Now, to me, part of this, I think, is that Rich Paul is trying to become Giannis's agent and trying to be like, I can get you traded. I think this is an advertisement to change things. But how are you feeling about this? Are you feeling like this is starting to get pretty serious?
I think it's a bit of self-promotion, to be honest, and probably a bit more just chatter. Giannis is like famously like family with his agent. He's been with him and Giannis's family like since they first came over from Greece. Having said that, though, there's been some like weird comments, like Giannis saying, "I don't control what my agent says," which just felt like the most out-of-pocket thing ever. So the reason we're talking about it is because there's at least enough here to be like, there seems to be smoke, so is there fire? Even if I don't think it's entirely legitimate.
Yeah. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to hit with the Bucks at all, Tommy?
We just keep watching. We just keep hoping and praying. Hopes and prayers go up, man. KPJ is also out indefinitely. I don't know if you've seen that. He's been one of like the bright sparks, I think, who actually plays defense. I've really enjoyed watching him play. I'm kind of now watching for like Rollins and Ajax minutes and Thanasis minutes. I'm kind of hoping we get scrappy at some stage. I want to see someone get punched. Do you know what I haven't seen on this team? So I know we got to move on. I've not seen Doc get teed up. I need to see it. I need to see him crash out, get teed up, push someone over. I want to see, like, Bobby hasn't even like been in anyone's face in like since last year in November or something. Like, where's the scrappiness? Giannis did one dunk, and then Gary Trent had 4 words to say to Vucci Main 3 weeks ago, and that's about as much energy as I've seen.
We need to get Pat Bev throwing balls at people in the audience.
Innocent people, yeah. I just want to see something. I want to see someone get teed up. That's just what I want to see. That's
it. Well, Tom, well, going from that high level of aggression. Oh, actually, I wanted to just quickly touch on one thing. I listened to this is how bad it's gotten, everybody. I listened to Thanasis Antetokounmpo's podcast, Thanalysis, which I highly recommend people check out. Put out an episode today. Usually they're an interview. This was just a bit of a monologue. And for the first time in my entire career, I heard a sad Thanasis. The dude is depressed.
Oh really?
Which is unheard of. For people that know anything about Thanasis, it's barely, like, he was not even on the team. He had his ACL done last year. He was living his best life. This season, dude, he sounds worn out. I'm going to be honest. Like I would recommend people go check it out. It's like I think the title of the episode's good, like called like "Gotta Keep Going" or something like that. But man's kind of in a bad place.
And what do you think? Do you think he's just shouldering a lot of the stress of the Giannis situation? And
I think he's like the diplomat between the team and Giannis, and I think he is like working double time right now because I reckon all the team is coming to Thanasis to be like, dude, what's your brother thinking? And Giannis is like probably going to his brother to be like, hey, can you tell everybody this stuff? So he's probably just working like he's making his money, like he's earning his check this season.
Well, he's been, and this is the thing, he's been the culture dude again for multiple seasons now, but he's also not had to shoulder, like he's been the Energizer Bunny off the bench. He's been the guy in the locker room, and he's complimented. I get the sense he's like the good cop to the Bobby bad cop,
Yeah.
But now, like Bobby's had to step up and be like vet. But now they've just got a vet bad cop, and Thanasis is like trying to sort of keep everyone happy, and yeah, it's just a dog's breakfast.
Dog's breakfast. All right, well, Tom, we got to hit these last two segments with pace here, mate. Let's jump right into it. All right, we've gone from high levels of stress to something that's a little bit more relaxing. It's time to take not a timeout, but a rhyme out. Beautiful, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme Out. This is perhaps the only regular basketball poetry segment on the internet, and you're here to listen to it right now. Poems are usually short, usually Bucks related. Tom, are they?
Today they are.
Today they are. And I think what better place to start? We just had Bucks chat. So, Tom, please take us away with your Rhyme Out.
This is a welcome scheduled sort of break. I think I needed this drinks break. Yeah, I've written another Bucks poem. I can't help myself. KPJ, he really can KP play. But now he's injured. Will he get KP traded? He can hit that long KP tray or pull up for that KP midi J. I thought he would be Giannis's KP Bay, but on the injury report, they're not even day-to-day. I know the common issue here. Who to KP blame? Glenn won't even draw him up a KP play. Doc's got me in KP disarray. So do we tank and throw games KP away? We've long had issues with guards, and at the end of the day, he's no Drew Holiday.
Incredible.
Couple of stretches on that, but I think
that was good. That was good. That was like that was a bit of a yoga session, full of stretches. But
I kind of took a bit of inspiration from you, to be honest. I felt like there were a little bit of Jez sort of inspired rhymes there.
I liked it. We've actually gone for the same approach here. You'll hear in my poem, I've gone for the exact same vibe. But Tom, I thought that was a great poem about KPJ, and I think KP play got a couple of runs there, but in different ways, like drawing up a KP play, let him KP play. So a couple of different options there, which I liked.
Thanks, mate.
A little bit of word KP play. All right, let's go into mine. I've actually gone for one that's not even dissimilar in sound. It's not even dissimilar in approach to poem. Our poems are not usually this similar for people that don't know. I've gone for one that I feel like we were right about. I've seen the Lakers subreddit. They're starting to see that this guy is not all that he was cracked up to be by the Lakers hype people in the offseason. And that is, I've written a poem for one Deandre dominating. So let's kick it off. A little bit shorter than yours. Dominating, frustrating. They should be investigating. He's instigating, my Laker hating. I need an explanating. The vibes ain't greating. I'm not saying, I'm stating. Deandre, I'm implicating.
Sorry, what was that rhyme in the middle?
Oh. I don't know, mate. I was in a bit of a frenzy. I think it's just taking me out.
That was beautiful. That might be a podium finish up there with Bobby Tortoise as far as some of the finest poems we've seen at Rhyme Out. That was beautiful. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. No, look, I think I just with one note on that, I just wanted to say we were right all along. Exactly what we thought was going to happen happened, and you can check literally any episode from this year to hear our thoughts on Ayton and how we've predicted this.
All I'm saying is we're real early on it. Real early on it. So let's move on.
Pre-Dayton. All right, Tom, it's time for our final segment, our most common segment. Tom, grab your basketball, because the last time you hit 2 nothing but net switches. It's time for Agent Cody a bank.
Please.
And as promised, nothing but Cody bank shot there. Tom, tell us, you made that shot, right?
I made that shot. That was cash. That was money, baby.
And we checked last time you hit it again for refunds. Are there any refunds available today?
You know what it is? Bugger.
I'm not going to edit that out, mate.
Okay.
let's head into Agent Cody Bank. So, Tom, not unlike Worst Fake, we're going to have to improvise a little bit here and help and just kind of be the agent for someone that wants the bank. They're NBA related. Sometimes it's a coach, sometimes it's a player. We're going to get 45 seconds to sell this person in an elevator pitch to a real NBA GM that I'm going to obviously Skype in. Tom, who did you want to, you know what? You were in the hot seat to kick us off, so I'll be in the hot seat to start off this segment here today. Who am I representing as an agent today?
As I said before, mate, the Denver Nuggets are the team that we thought the Bucks were going to be. You know, even with a few injuries, a bit of creative coaching, move some things around, give people opportunity. And what's happened is that one of their third, maybe fourth options has stepped up into a first option. And I think Aaron Gordon really deserves the bag here. And I need you to explain why this man really deserves the bag.
All right, here we go, mate. Easy. Let me start with a headline. Gordon Bleu. All right. This dude is peak. Is what it means to be a Gordon in the NBA. We've had Eric Gordon before. I think he is Air Gordon. Here's the thing. Aaron Gordon could be a number one option on any team, okay? He is one of the few players in the NBA that can be a first option but can play as a third option. He's not out here Zach LaVining your team into non-existence. He's not out here, you know what? He's not out here doing this to what Zach LaVine has done to the Kings, okay? He's actually an additive player and he's a great role player. He's like if Zach LaVine and Draymond Green got put into one player, he's fantastic. But you know what? This actually brings me to the Kings because there's actually something else I wanted to share.
Set him off. I really set him off.
You've set me off because as much as I'm talking about trading Giannis, one thing does scare me, and that's becoming the Sacramento Kings. As a smaller market team, it's a potential. And I saw this week, and it gave me pause. And this is what having Zach LaVine as your best player can sometimes do to you. I've never seen this before, but this is breaking. Sacramento Kings are selling tickets at Costco. Doesn't get more average than this is the headline. And you can actually buy tickets at Costco. And it's just unbelievable to see what is happening to the Kings. And this is something that scares me. So with Aaron Gordon on your team, you're never going to be there. And I think that's my best selling point.
Zach LaVining to Levine a team was just a phenomenal turn of an adjective phrase, and one that should be repeated as oft as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful, and I love how that just sent you down the rabbit hole. Every day I wake up and I go, thank goodness we're not Kings supporters. But I should be careful because, we're staring down the barrel of that if Giannis gets shipped and we don't get significant assets in return. I'm ready. Right. Who am I representing today to get that bag, get that bank?
All right, Tom, I want you to be like the Phoenix. I want you to pull this guy out of the coals. And by the coals, I mean the coal, because I want you to represent our current Pine riding player, Cole Anthony.
This man has stayed ready. And say what you want, but he has stayed ready. And honestly, every single time he's gotten minutes, he's actually produced some points. Is he undersized? Yes. Does he get mismatched every single time on defense? Basically. But he's hit his threes, he's had some nice floaters, and he's been averaging not a bad amount of assists. I actually think that, we need a steady hand off the bench, especially with KPJ out. And I don't hate those minutes going to Cole. When it goes bad is when he starts. Let's not talk about that, though. I think he can be a bench commander. And you know what? If we're going down the tanking route, then he can be that tank commander as well. He's got that dual sort of offense, defense. He's got dual skill sets in that regard. So it's a genuine contract year for Cole Anthony. So good luck, mate. I don't know who's going to pay you. Probably won't be the Bucks. But I haven't hated him that much when he's got his minutes back again. How have you felt with him?
His last name's Anthony. Sometimes he's a bit more relaxed.
See Anthony, yeah.
Sometimes he's a bit more relaxed, mellow. Sometimes he's got a bit more of an engine, a bit like a car. You could call him car mellow Anthony. No, I do kind of feel like he's a guy that's just going to get waived. He's going to probably at the trade deadline end up on another team and probably play the same role for them.
Yeah. But we need someone who can make shots, and he can make some shots, so it's enough. Like, who else is... We don't have that many guards.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid AJ Green plays at shooting guard where he's meant to be positioned. I say it every episode because it matters.
And that takes us back to Glenn, Doc Rivers. And look, I think that's just a rabbit hole we can't go down again. So, Tom, did you have anything you wanted to leave the people with today?
I got to cash one more.
You got to cash one more.
Bugger. Didn't.
And like the Bucks season, off the back rim and out, we've got to leave it as we always do. Finn.